Bon matin tout le monde. C'est un grand plaisir de vous voir ici à Montréal. C'est toujours un plaisir d'être chez moi et de rassembler le Conseil des ministres ici à Montréal pour parler des défis auxquels on fait face, auxquels les Canadiens font face pour 2024. Je sais que c'est des moments difficiles pour énormément de gens, avec le coût de la vie, avec le coût des loyers, avec les coûts de l'épicerie, avec des défis au niveau de l'économie internationale. Et c'est pour ça qu'on est concentré sur le travail qu'on doit faire pour continuer à aider les gens. On a mis de l'avant plusieurs mesures au fil de la dernière année qui ont réellement aidé, que ce soit au niveau des coupures, des coûts des garderies à travers le pays, l'allocation canadienne aux enfants qui fait une grosse différence, de l'aide pour les aînés qui s'en vient avec les soins dentaires pour les aînés vulnérables. On est là pour continuer d'investir et d'aider les gens. We know Canadians are facing challenging times right now. People are squeezed between the cost of groceries and rents and all the challenges they're facing. That's why we've continued to step up with concrete ways to support Canadians, whether it's the range of measures from bringing childcare fees down to investing in more money through the climate action incentive, through the child care, the Canada Child Benefit, or the support we're bringing to families with greater dental care as it rolls out for seniors right now. We're there to support people through these tough times with real programs and real work that's delivering for them. We've announced in a couple of weeks we'll hold a national summit on auto theft to go at one of the challenges that's facing Canadians in far too many cities across the country. But we're also spending time this week leaning in on a number of big issues. We had a panel on the economy with a focus on how the middle class is doing and how we can make sure that people continue to see a strong and optimistic future for them and for their kids in this country, despite challenging geopolitical and global economic headwinds. That's why hearing from economists, from experts, from a range of folks to look at what really and what more our government can work on to deliver for people in complex and challenging times. We also were invited back members of a panel on housing to look at what we've been able to do over the past 6 months. Tim Richter and Mike Moffat and others were here. They were with us last summer when we launched our significant housing measures that we've been rolling out all fall, and this was an opportunity for us to hear directly from them on what more we can do to continue to tackle the housing challenge across the country. Au niveau du logement, on a pris des actions pour les plus ambitieuses pour contrer la crise du logement depuis des générations au Canada. C'est pour ça qu'on était très contente de pouvoir accueillir la mairesse Valérie Plante, non seulement pour parler de Montréal, mais pour parler au nom du caucus des grandes villes de la Fédération canadienne des municipalités, pour vraiment voir comment le gouvernement fédéral peut continuer d'être un bon partenaire à tous les paliers de gouvernement, particulièrement pour lutter pour les plus vulnérables, contrer l'itinérance et continuer d'investir dans un avenir dans nos villes et à travers notre pays où les gens peuvent voir un avenir optimiste. We've also talked a lot about the American elections coming up. Canada-U.S. relations are fundamental for the prosperity, well-being of Canadians. We know this is an important election year for the U.S., so we'll be hearing shortly from a panel of experts on Canada-U.S. relations and making sure that we're ready for whatever Americans decide in this coming November. I have asked our Minister of Trade and our Minister of Industry, Mary Ng and François-Philippe Champagne, to lead the Team Canada approach, working with Ambassador Kristin Hillman, who's here today for the panel, to pull together, as we did a number of years ago, a Team Canada approach, including businesses, entrepreneurs, organized labor, civil society groups, different orders of government, to make sure that we're ready to continue to benefit as Canadians from a strong relationship with the United States. We know there's always challenges whenever there's an American election, but as we have before, we're going to be ready to deal with whatever gets tossed at us and make sure we're defending Canadians' interests and opportunities in this strong relationship. On va parler aujourd'hui des relations avec les États-Unis et regarder particulièrement ce qu'on doit faire pour préparer pour les élections ce novembre aux États-Unis. Notre ambassadrice Kristin Hillman va présenter et va animer un groupe d'experts qui vont discuter des différents défis auxquels on pourrait faire face. Mon annonce aujourd'hui qu'on crée un groupe de travail avec le ministre François-Philippe Champagne et la ministre Mary Ng, nos ministres d'Industrie et de Commerce international, pour gérer l'approche Équipe Canada qu'on a utilisée il y a plusieurs années pour s'assurer que les gens d'affaires, les syndicats, des experts, des différents groupes de société civile et les Canadiens soient bien représentés à tous les paliers de gouvernement pour avoir une approche cohérente, pour bien travailler avec nos partenaires américains, quelles que soient leurs décisions cet automne. We know we're in challenging times right now in the world, and that's why it's so important that we have a government that continues to roll up its sleeves and take responsible, serious, steady decisions as we're there to support Canadians now and to build a strong and prosperous future. We know the Conservative Party continues to offer only insults and attacks on one side and cuts to programs that Canadians rely on the other side. That's not what Canadians need. Canadians need a government with a plan, with the capacity and the ability to continue to deliver even in these complex, challenging times, and that's exactly what we're doing. 2024 is going to continue to be a challenging year, but we're also going to see a number of bright spots as we come through the challenges of the past few years, and Canada positions itself with all the advantages we have to lead the way on many, many different fronts at a time where the world is facing real issues and difficulties as well. One thing that we always remember is that Canada is the best country in the world, and it's up to us to work hard to make it even better. And that's exactly what we're gathered here in my hometown to do. Merci beaucoup tout le monde.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We'll now begin the question period. One question each. First one goes to Louis Blouin.
Bonjour, Louis Blouin de Radio-Canada. M. Trudeau, à vos yeux, quel est le plus grand risque d'un retour de Donald Trump à la Maison-Blanche pour le Canada?
Je pense que le Canada profite énormément d'une relation stable avec les États-Unis. Quel que soit le gouvernement ou l'administration qui se fait élire au fil des années, de savoir avoir de bonnes relations, de savoir démontrer que l'intérêt américain, c'est d'avoir de bonnes relations avec l'économie, une bonne intégration avec l'économie canadienne.
Trump, ça ne veut pas dire la même chose que M.
Non, non. M. Trump représente une certaine incertitude. On ne sait pas exactement ce qu'il va amener, mais comme on a su le faire il y a 7 ans maintenant, on a su bien gérer M. Trump en défendant les intérêts canadiens et démontrant qu'on peut créer de la croissance économique des deux côtés de la frontière. Ça continue d'être notre approche, particulièrement puisque nos économies sont encore plus intégrées qu'ils l'ont été même il y a 7 ans.
Merci. Next question.
I think one of the really important things for any Canadian government is to continue to work constructively with whatever American administration is in place. There's no question that we made it through the challenges represented by the Trump administration 7 years ago for 4 years, where we put forward the fact that Canada and the U.S. do best when we do it together, when we're well integrated, when we recognize the prosperity that's created on both sides of the border. That's going to continue to be our approach. Obviously, Mr. Trump represents a certain amount of unpredictability, but we will make sure we're pulling together and preparing for whatever eventualities.
Mia Rabson from the Canadian Press. Just wondering if yesterday's announcement on temporary student visas is a part of a bigger rethink on our immigration policies. Will there be caps on other temporary visas? Are we going to tie immigration to housing?
One of the things that Canadians understand is that immigration remains an incredible strength and force for Canada and for the Canadian economy. Being able to welcome in people from around the world, particularly at this time of labor shortages, is good for our country and good for the future that we're building together. But we need to make sure that the system is working in the rigorous ways that it always has. That's what gives Canadians confidence about it. Over the past few years, we've seen a massive increase in the number of international students, and that's why we are steadying the numbers for the next 2 years so that we can make sure that international students can fully benefit from their time here in Canada, and that our system is able to manage and handle them in the right ways. This is part of what a responsible government must do to ensure immigration continues to function smoothly and Canadians continue to support it. Okay. L'immigration est une grande force pour le Canada, particulièrement dans ces moments de pénurie de main-d'œuvre où on peut accueillir des gens de partout dans le monde pour contribuer à notre croissance économique, à notre bien-être en tant que citoyens. Au cours des dernières années, on a vu une montée fulgurante dans les chiffres au niveau des étudiants internationaux. Alors, on est en train de les stabiliser pour les 2 prochaines années pour permettre au système de rattraper un petit peu ces opportunités et d'établir une piste vers le succès pour les étudiants internationaux qui viennent ici, pour s'assurer que nos communautés puissent bien les accueillir et qu'on continue de bénéficier des gens qui viennent apprendre et se développer ici au Canada.
Next question.
David Reevely from The Logic. In 2022, your budget made a great focus on productivity, saying it was really important that we be more productive if we want our kids to live better than we do. Now, 2 years later, productivity is down, GDP per capita is down, population is growing faster than employment. Statistics Canada is saying standard of living is dropping. And the economist panel you brought in actually said to us that they told your cabinet, focusing on that stuff is a mistake. That's icing on the cake. We should be thinking about other things. Has your thinking on this issue changed? And if so, or if not, how has your cabinet discussed it?
Every prime minister for the past 30 years has been challenged with the issue of productivity, and we, like all others, continue to work on making sure that the Canadian economy is delivering the best possible jobs and the best possible growth for everyone. That's why we've put forward a strong and ambitious industrial strategy that's focused on preparing for the net zero world we're getting into. As we see investments by companies like Northvolt or Volkswagen or Stellantis or Ewan Moly or Dow Chemicals in Alberta, we're seeing the world taking an interest in what Canada's doing and what they can do in Canada. That's why last year, in the first half of last year, Canada was number 3 in the world for foreign direct investment. After the U.S. and Brazil, I believe. The fact is, what we're doing here in Canada to build strong, prosperous jobs and careers for the future is making a difference. And right now, even as Canadians are squeezed by cost of living pressures, by rents, by geopolitical pressures, we're building the basis of a strong country for decades to come, with good jobs, with opportunities, and with solutions that the world's going to need. Part of that is going to be increasing our productivity in smart and thoughtful ways, but it all goes together in the vision we're building for a better future for Canadians.
Next question.
Raymond Filion de TVA, bonjour. En quoi êtes-vous la meilleure personne pour gérer un éventuel retour de Donald Trump à la Maison-Blanche? Parce que les Canadiens vont voter, devront prendre une décision. Si M. Trump est réélu, à savoir qui est la meilleure personne, pourquoi ce serait vous?
Tout d'abord, l'élection canadienne va être dans 2 ans et on va savoir au mois de novembre qui sera le prochain président américain. Mais je vais rappeler aux gens que pendant les défis réels auxquels on a fait face pendant la première présidence de M. Trump, que ce soit ses attaques sur la gestion de l'offre et notre système d'appuyer les fermiers à travers le pays au Canada, que ce soit ses attaques sur les travailleurs en acier, en aluminium, que ce soit son désir de complètement déchirer et d'enlever l'accord de libre-échange avec les États-Unis et le Mexique, on a su tenir fort, on a su renégocier l'ALENA pour être encore mieux pour les Canadiens, mieux pour protéger nos industries culturelles, mieux pour protéger notre gestion de l'offre, mieux pour créer de la croissance long terme dans notre secteur automobile qu'on est en train de transformer maintenant pour être plus électrique. On a su gérer ces situations très difficiles en restant ancré dans la croissance économique partagée entre nos deux pays. C'est sûr qu'il n'y a aucun président américain qui est facile pour un premier ministre canadien. C'est toujours une relation complexe où les intérêts des Américains prennent beaucoup de place dans la discussion. Mais au cours de nos relations maintenant, mes relations avec 3 différents présidents américains, j'ai su démontrer que nous avons la capacité de s'entendre, de travailler, de défendre les intérêts des Canadiens et nos valeurs en même temps, tout en créant de la croissance économique qui bénéficie à tout le monde.
Next question.
Bonjour, Sandrine Vieira du journal Le Devoir. Monsieur Trudeau, lors de la dernière retraite de votre cabinet l'été dernier, vous disiez que le logement et le coût de la vie étaient la priorité numéro 1. Vous avez fait des annonces en logement depuis, et là, vous terminez une autre retraite qui a porté sur ces mêmes enjeux. Mais malgré tout, les taux hypothécaires actuels sont inabordables pour plusieurs Canadiens, les mises en chantier ont reculé dans plusieurs grandes villes et le nombre de demandeurs d'asile a explosé. Donc, concrètement, comment comptez-vous changer votre stratégie si vous espérez obtenir des résultats différents?
Au contraire, on continue de faire le travail. Ce qu'on a vu au cours des 6 derniers mois depuis cette rencontre du cabinet, ça a été des investissements et des annonces massives à travers le pays pour créer plus de logements au cours des prochaines années. On a su être là pour aider les Canadiens avec des soins dentaires, avec des réductions pour les frais de garderie. On a pu continuer de travailler pour créer de la croissance et pour s'assurer qu'on a des bons emplois, pas seulement pour les années à venir, mais pour des décennies à venir. C'est comme ça qu'on va bâtir une économie forte. Je comprends qu'il reste encore beaucoup de travail à faire et c'est exactement ce qu'on est en train de faire. Alors, cette rencontre du cabinet a été vraiment l'occasion de continuer à faire le travail nécessaire de façon sérieuse et responsable pour livrer pour les Canadiens pendant ces moments de difficultés et de défis.
Next question.
Morning, Prime Minister. Justin Ling, freelance. Picking up on that question, since you came into office, you pledged to build an extraordinary amount of new social housing, public housing. You promised to close the infrastructure gap. But over the years, billions of dollars was left unspent, funding was lapsed, the number of homes you actually built is relatively small compared to the need. Did you have a delivery problem? And if so, how do you fix that? Do you still have that problem today? What measures are you taking to fix that?
Well, we put in place a national housing strategy in 2017 that delivered millions for millions of Canadians as we move forward into difficult years. Following the pandemic, the housing challenges really exploded across this country, and we needed to do even more, which is why we stepped up with the $4 billion Housing Accelerator Fund. And that recognizes that the federal government, while it has a role to play in housing, it's not the only one. Municipalities specifically are key to unlocking greater housing starts across the country. And that's why the deals we're signing around the accelerator with specific cities to cut red tape, to increase densification, to change the zoning laws, to permit 4 units as of right and 4 stories as of right in cities right across this country to unlock an accelerated process of building more houses even faster in the coming years is what we've been focused on. And we're going to continue as we've done it. There's no moment to stop. We're continuing to invest in working in even better partnership with municipalities and provinces across the country and unlocking infrastructure investments, including in provinces that have been underinvesting or loath to invest in infrastructure or in housing. We're continuing to look at ways to either go around the provinces and work with the municipalities or bring the provinces on board to do even more. This is a time where orders of government need to continue to work together, and that's exactly what we've demonstrated across party lines. An ability to deliver for Canadians is the only way we're going to be moving forward.
Next
Good morning,
question.
Marika Walsh with the Globe and Mail. You just laid out the tough economic times that Canadians are facing. You say you're seized with the issue. Did you consider that backdrop when you decided to take an $80,000 free vacation?
As many Canadians did, I stayed with friends over the holidays.
Many Canadians don't have access to a $90,000 free vacation. So can you just explain a bit more the thinking as to why you take these vacations and how you think Canadians receive them?
Like many Canadians did, I stayed with family friends over the holidays.
Next question.
Alex Matlingal, Toronto Star. The Business Council of Canada said in a letter to you last week that the fiscal objective of capping deficits at 1% that you introduced in the fiscal update is not credible because of the huge increases in spending under your government. And they said that it would require $12 billion in cuts per year to hit that goal. How serious are you about hitting that goal, and are you willing to make cuts like that or alternatively raise taxes in order to meet it?
I continue to listen to business leaders and economists and experts who have all sorts of different perspectives on what the Canadian economy needs and what Canadians need. And I understand business community very much wants to continue to be able to be profitable and growing, and that's something we all want for the business community. But my priority as Prime Minister and our priority as a government is to make sure that Canadians are supported. The Canadians can see themselves in good jobs into the future. The Canadians get the supports they need now to make it through these tough times. And we saw Conservatives voting against dental care for vulnerable Canadians, whether it's for kids who family couldn't afford it, that we've actually delivered dental care for over the past year, or the millions of seniors that are going to benefit from dental care in the coming year. We made investments in childcare that the business community was iffy on. Many recognize that it's not just a social program, but an economic program as well, as more women are joining the workforce, as young kids get a better start when they hit grade 1. We've continued to be there to invest for Canadians. And what I respect the business community for is they will continue to advocate for the things that will do better and do well for business owners. And of course, we're going to listen to that because we do need a growing economy. But my focus needs to be, and will continue to be, on how we're there to support Canadians in a challenging time and how we create greater growth and opportunities for them in the years to come. And that doesn't come with austerity and cuts, as proposed by many members of the business community, as proposed by many Conservative politicians. We continue to believe that strong, confident countries invest in themselves and in their people. Investing in Canadians in responsible ways to support people through these tough times and make sure they can succeed long into the future is how we build a strong and growing Canada, and that is what I will continue to do.
Thank you. Last question.
Abigail Beeman, Global News. In the event of a second Donald Trump presidency, I hear you speak to your experience dealing with that administration, so I'm wondering, what would you do differently a second time around?
Actually, what worked best and what works with all American presidents is to demonstrate that what is good for Canada is also good for the United States and vice versa. That the integration of our economies, that the partnerships we have in so many different areas end up being beneficial on both sides of the border. And obviously, the three presidents I've dealt with have all had different perspectives and different approaches on it, but the Canadian approach is the same. It's standing up for Canadian values and Canadian interests, looking for win-win situations, and demonstrating that we can and will continue to work together to create prosperity right across the continent.
Thank you. That concludes.
La réalité, c'est que on a toujours eu une approche consistante avec les trois différents présidents américains auxquels on a fait face en tant que gouvernement, de démontrer l'intérêt et les valeurs des Canadiens, de défendre nos emplois, mais aussi de démontrer qu'on sait que l'intégration entre l'économie canadienne et américaine est bonne des deux côtés de la frontière, que de travailler ensemble sur les grands enjeux à travers le monde va bénéficier à des emplois aux États-Unis et au Canada et créer de la prospérité pour nous tous.
That
Merci
concludes
beaucoup tout le
today's
monde.
press conference. Thank you.